What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Move Better channel. This is John Pena-Serrata, and we got Dr. Joe in the house. And today, we want to talk about shoulders and how we all, or a lot of us, have injured it, and still, we go ahead and work out anyway.
Yeah, we still kind of try to push it,
right.
Try to push through pain.
Yeah, push through pain. So we're going to talk about that today. Hope you enjoy it.
So a lot of people talk about shoulder pain whenever they're working out. And this is more for the people that have a non-serious injury. I'm hesitant to say non-serious but it's simply put, it's hard for you to raise your hands overhead. And yes, you can raise your hands, but there's a slight little pinch at the top of the pain, at the top of your shoulder.
I've definitely felt that before.
That we've already ruled out. Rotator cuff tears, AC joint strains, and it might just be an impingement. Now, impingement syndrome pain and shoulder pain is more of just like a tracking disorder, a stiffness within the shoulder that you might be dealing with. Now, the assessment takes care of all of that. That's why we need to check to see where the problem is really lying and really holding for. And if you've gotten an MRI, you've gotten an ultrasound, you've gotten some advanced imaging that tells you that it's nothing serious, these are the type of exercises that we want you to do. Now, we want to work, the main thing here, pain-free movement. Still work the movement pattern, but work it in a way that we will work pain-free, because a lot of the time they will resolve on its own if you do these exercises, if you start doing some exercises that work in pain-free. But if you keep pushing through pain, that's when we start to have some problems, and that's when we're going to start to deal with some chronic issues, because again, there's a cascade effect of things that start to happen. Okay, so John, tell me a little bit more about what happened with you with your shoulders.
So it started off maybe doing too much pushing exercises, whether it's front load, chest presses or whatnot. And then you start feeling a little bit of a pinching right here as you move your arm forward, up above your head.
So here's an exercise that you guys can simply do. So for people who are working with presses, right? I had, funny story, I just had a power lifter in here the other day, and he was saying how his bench, when he was benching, his shoulder started to hurt. His shoulder started to impinge back there. And so we came in together, and instead of doing the adjustment, we started trying different things that may help increase space that decreases the bursitis and the pain in the shoulder. And so one of the things that we did was started doing pull exercises first. And the pull exercises that you would do is, let's say you get your hands palms up, and when you do an exercise, notice when I'm doing my palms up already, I'm kind of creating space within that shoulder. And internally rotate or externally rotating the shoulder with your elbows coming out, rotating out here, is going to free up some space. And as he does a pull here, go ahead and do a pull. And he's not just I don't want him necessarily to pull his shoulder blades back so much. I want him to pull his shoulder blades down and back, right? So I'm trying to get his hands, look where his hands are at. It's going to be closer towards the rib cage here. And as he's pulling into here, that's where I want the motion. So it's really activating the lat. It's activating the subscap. It's pulling the shoulders back and down. Now with subscap activation, it's going to be working more internal rotation. But in this case, we're working rotator cuff, we're working lats, and we're pulling, but straining or stressing the subscap, which does what it needs to do, which is pull that shoulder blade or that GH joint back down into its socket. So we're, again, creating space in this area. We're doing some pull motions to activate these muscles first before we start doing some pull exercises. Now with this palms up, turn and face this way. One warm-up that I like to do with some of my patients is I like to do a reverse grip bench press. If their primary goal is to work on presses and strength in this pattern, instead I'm going to have him do a reverse grip, which is going to force external rotation and work the muscles of external rotators. Sorry, I'm going to turn you here, which works the muscles of external rotators to fully activate and work. We're going to do some presses here. And that decreases the activation of the trap. That decreases the activation of the internal rotators, which will force space in the GH joint and above that. So those are some exercises that you could try to do, that you could start immediately to see if you could create space. Remember, creating space, try to retrain. Try to grab a bench and try to do it. So what we're going to do is we're simply just going to have John go reverse grip. And so he's going to do his reverse grip presses here. And he's going to get a little bit more pec activation as he's going down. So as he's going down here, he's externally rotating, bringing his elbows nice and close. Notice, because of the restriction, he has to bring his hands below his rib cage, and now he's going to press up. Full. There you go. And now that feels pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. It's forcing activation of that external rotation, and he's pressing to allow space and more activation of the pec. Good. Give me about 5 more. Press all the way up. And all the way up as far as we can, okay? Because I want full range of motion in these exercises. Go down, press right back up. Give me 2 more. And right back up. Good. Now, John, let's check to see, does it still feel the same? And I want you to be completely honest. Does it feel better? Or does it feel worse?
Different. Definitely feels different.
Does it feel more free?
Not as much impingement.
And but you still feel the impingement?
A little bit.
Okay, so that means we haven't gotten the job done just yet, all right? Now we want to try to retrain that overhead pattern. We just did everything to decrease the activation, or to decrease the impingement. And although we've gotten a little bit of degrees of freedom there, we still need to train the shoulder to activate the strength patterns, okay? So the next exercise that we're gonna do here is I'm gonna have John on both knees. Some people do it on half kneeling. I don't think I think I still need to activate the chain pattern here. And when I activate the chain pattern, both knees need to be down in order to retrain it. Now, right over here, we have a simple landmine. You guys can utilize a different type of landmine, but notice what I'm gonna try to do here is I'm trying to put pressure into that shoulder. I'm trying to load the shoulder in pain-free movements. Rather than him pushing straight up against gravity, now he's pushing at an angle. So go ahead and push straight up. That doesn't hurt, right?
No.
Now we're gonna go high repetitions. I know this is lightweight for John because I know that he works out a lot. We wanna try to decrease, I'm simply just trying to activate the pattern here. So we're gonna go for about 15. How many is that? 4? 14. 1 more. 15. Now relax.
1 moment later.
All right.
One
moment later. Go ahead and stand up. Okay. Now, John, be honest, okay? I want you to raise your arms straight up. Do we have pain-free motion?
Yes.
We do. Cleared.
And
It is cleared? It is cleared? Yeah. Okay. So all we did was just create pain-free motion. We told the shoulder how it needed to move and retrain. And then now we could start doing some overhead presses. Now, John, here's the final test. Show me a barbell press. And press straight up. Do you have any pain?
no.
Give me 10. 2, 3, any pain?
No.
4, no pain.
No more impingement.
5, no more impingement whatsoever.
Right now, I feel my traps, which is what we should be feeling.
Yeah. And 1 more. Perfect. Relax. Good. So the whole point of this video today, you guys, is that you don't necessarily need bands and foam rollers and stretching all the time in order to do your work. If you are an athlete that has been working out, that has been exercising, that plays in sport, we don't necessarily need to follow the same type of protocols for the average person that doesn't do anything whatsoever. And I say average because there's a lot more people that don't do anything at all versus the people that actually play a sport or work out or do exercises, okay? We can simply make changes by altering our movement patterns in pain-free motions, okay? Yes. And when we do that, we can increase the degrees of freedom that our shoulder can finally move, decrease pain, and we take advantage of that movement more and more and more. So even though his pain has gone down, now I need to take advantage of that pain-free movement and start strengthening the pattern, progressively overloading that area to increase the strength so that way, now that he's away from working out and living his lifestyle, now he won't deal with any pain just in a normal daily activities.
Great.
Thanks for joining us, you guys. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe below, share to all of your friends that may be dealing with some type of shoulder impingement, especially the ones in this specific video that works with shoulder pain, and they are pretty intense when they work out, okay? This is more for the fitness athlete, for a sports performance player. Let them know how we can help them out. Thanks, you guys. See you guys in the next video.